We'll be getting back. Let's cross over to State House for that State of the Nation address.
Our Kenyan children, and indeed we should be proud of the achievements that we have made, today being a historic milestone when this morning we started the distribution of 33 million books to our children in our schools across the country. For the first time in our history, we have achieved a 1-to-1 ratio of book to child, and this is a first not just in Kenya, but in many parts of the world. I am grateful that the Jubilee administration's education reforms are gathering pace with the eventual rollout of our new curriculum. Indeed, as you may have heard, I have instructed the Ministry of Interior to work with the Ministry of Education to ensure that all our regional commissioners liaise with the regional education coordinators to hold these regional stakeholders meetings in all our 8 regions of our country on education reform, especially with regard to our new curriculum. This will enable the public to participate and have a better understanding of the proposed new curriculum and its outcomes. Indeed, all our children going to Form 1 should start reporting next week, and the government has already released approximately Kenya shillings 30 billion to all secondary schools in the increased capitation plan of supporting each and every learner with up to Kenya shillings 22,400 to ensure that secondary education is accessible to all our children, and to ensure that we have equity across the country in terms of availability to education, and equally to ensure that, as was there before, children who were still not of age and who could not access secondary education are now able to access basic education until they are of a mature age. Today I call upon prudence in the use of all public resources meant for our children. And this is not an issue, as I said this morning, that is debatable. We must avoid wastage and misuse of these resources. Fellow Kenyans, further to this, and as I stated to you in my New Year's address, I did say that in the following weeks, I will be announcing names of men and women who will join me in delivering our promises to Kenyans. And today, I wish to name a few of those who I wish would join me in working together to fulfill our agenda for Kenya and our fellow citizens. Therefore, in accordance with the powers conferred upon me by Article 131 and 152 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, I wish to state that I am retaining the following persons in my cabinet and shall reassign them accordingly their duties in accordance with Article 152(5)(a). And these are the National Treasury, Mr. Henry K. Rotich. The Ministry of Tourism, Honorable Najib Balala. The Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Mr. James Macharia. The Ministry of Interior and Coordination of Government, as well as Acting Minister of Education, Dr. Fred Matiang'i. The Ministry of Energy, the Honorable Charles Keter, and the Ministry of Information, Communication, and Technology, Mr. Joseph Mushero. Further, in accordance with the powers conferred upon me by Article 132(4)(a), I have made the following appointments. Head of Public Service will continue to be Mr. Joseph Kenywa. The Deputy Head of Public Service will be Mr. Wanyama Musiambo. The Chief of Staff and Head of the Presidential Delivery Unit will be Mr. Nzioka Waita. The Comptroller of State House will be Mr. Kenodia Mbogwa. In addition, and by the authority conferred upon me by Article 152(2), I have nominated and forwarded the names thereof to the Speaker of the National Assembly the following persons. For position of Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable John Munyes, the Honorable Ukur Yatani, and Mr. Kiraiko Tobiko. For Ambassador to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Mr. Lawrence Lenayapa. In accordance with my nomination, I have today accepted the resignation of Mr. Kiriako Tobiko as Director of Public Prosecution under Article 158(9) of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010. Further, in order to enhance service delivery and efficiency within the National Police Service, I have, in accordance with Article 132 of the Constitution of Kenya and Section 17 of the National Police Service Act, made the following changes in the National Police Service. For redeployment, the following have been deployed to the Public Service Commission for further redeployment. 1, Joel Mboya Kitili, formerly Deputy Inspector General, Kenya Police. 2, Samuel Arachi, Deputy Inspector General, Administration Police Service. 3, Ndegwa Mohoro, Director, Directorate of Criminal Investigations. Appointments. I would also like to inform the country that on the advice of the National Police Service Commission and in consultation with the Inspector General and via Regulation 26 of the National Police Service Commission Act, Recruitment and Appointments Regulation 2015, the following officers are appointed in acting capacity until processed by the Commission in accordance with the said law. And these are Edward Joroge Mbogwa, appointed to Acting Deputy Inspector General, Kenya Police Service. Noor Yarao Gabao, Acting Inspector General, Administration Police Service. 3, George Kinoti Mainge, Acting Director, Directorate of Criminal Investigations. Fellow Kenyans, as I have said, over the next few weeks, I will be making further announcements to fill cabinet positions, to fill the positions of principal secretaries, as well as our sagas, as we continue to populate the government with those that will be charged with the responsibility of executing our agenda for the next 5 years. I thank you, and may God bless you, and may God continue to bless the Republic of Kenya. Thank you very much.